Brian Lavoie here on Radio Row. It is the Panini Senior Bowl 2026, and we are pleased now to be joined by Tyren Montgomery of John Carroll. Yeah. Tyren, the time is greatly appreciated. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Doing very well. Now, your story is incredible, but most people don't know it, so we're going to shed some light on it.
Yeah.
So you in high school were a basketball player that walked on to LSU. Tell me about the basketball experience and how that was kind of your intent to try to play athletics.
Yeah, so growing up, since I was a young kid, I had dreams of being in the NBA. All throughout high school, I played basketball. I had the intentions of, I enrolled into LSU to walk on the first semester, but I couldn't fulfill that dream. My mother ended up getting sick, so I had to come home and handle business there.
And as a basketball guy, who were you looking up to? What was your game kind of like?
Yeah, so in the basketball world, I'm a short guy, so I kind of wanted to always mimic my game after Chris Paul. That was like my favorite player growing up. He's one of the shorter point guards in the league, and I felt like that was going to be my way to get in there.
And so when adversity struck, and again, like you said, you had to leave LSU, what provoked you? What made you think football?
So I want to give a shout out to my brother. I have an 18-year-old brother out there. He's 6'5", 220, and he plays quarterback at North Greenville University. So I came home. It was around the COVID time. Basketball wasn't in the vision no more. I couldn't get a job because you couldn't get a job at that time. So we was throwing the football in the backyard one day, and he was like, "Look, bro, you might as well do this because you have nothing else to do with your life." So I was like, "Why not?"
So take me back to, so it was Nicholls State that you end up going to first. Mm-hmm. What led you to be able to go there to play football?
Yeah, so I ended up enrolling to the University of Houston to play football. I couldn't play there because it was around the COVID time. So a lot of guys had that COVID year, and they came back, and there was no more roster spots available, so I couldn't join the team. So I had to figure out, what could I do to get on a college roster with no high school film? So I ended up uploading some routes on air onto Facebook, and there was a guy named Eddie Franca who had a flag football team out in Miami, Florida. And he was like, "Look, bro, we got a tournament in Vegas. Come out, do your thing. Let's see what you could do." So I went out there, I did my thing, and I ended up getting the opportunity to be on the Olympics for flag football. But they told me if I were to do that, I would lose all my college eligibility. And I was like, I didn't start playing football to be a flag football player. No discredit to them. But so then I told Eddie my dreams of what I planned on doing, and he knows Deuce Schwartz. Deuce Schwartz is the offensive quality control coach for the 49ers. At the time, he was at Mizzou. So I formed up a highlight tape for flag football. Sent it to Deuce. Deuce sent it to a whole bunch of schools for me, and a lot of teams were interested, but they were scared to take the chance on me because I never put on shoulder pads a day in my life, which was valid. So then my tape ended up getting to Nicholls State. I was there in year 2022. My first year I couldn't play because I was ineligible due to changing my credits 4 or 5 times in school, so I didn't have enough credits towards a designated major. And then 2023. I was a walk-on still. I started the first 4 games of the season. I ended up getting hurt, and I missed the game. And once I came back, I lost my spot, which, is just a part of the business. So I had to figure out, what could I do next? So I entered the transfer portal, and come to find out, the NCAA told me I had no more D1 eligibility left, so I had to go down. So I hit up Eddie, the same guy who had the flag football team, and he knew my head coach, Jeff Behrman, who's now the head coach at Bucknell. But at the time, he was the head coach of John Carroll. He saw my tape, and within the first 30 seconds, he was intrigued. And he hit me up and was like, "Look, we know you got aspirations of playing in the league. We love you, and we got 40-plus alums that work in the NFL as far as in executives, coaches, and all that." And once he told me that, I was like, shoot, I'm going to John Carroll, And then after that, the rest has been history.
We'll get to this week and the draft aspirations in just a moment, but I just also want to hear from you, too. What was your first football practice like? I mean, you're playing with guys that have been playing for a number of years. Was it overwhelming? Was there a lot to take in?
I was anxious. I was putting in a lot of work prior to getting to Nicholls, so just like being here, I just wanted to show that I belong. I remember the first time I tried to put on shoulder pads, I had to ask the guy next to me, "Bro, how do I put my arm in here and, put my shoulder pads on all at the same time?" But, it was just been an anxious feeling. And, I went out there. Nicholls allowed me to get my feet wet as far as in the game of football, and then ever since then, it's been a blessing.
And so you go to John Carroll, as you mentioned. When was the moment that you realized, actually, I got something here?
Yeah. I kind of always believed in myself, you know, and I have the right team around me as far as in, you know, my brother. My mom, she saw this vision for me growing up. She used to tell me and my brother that we were going to be NFL stars, and I used to always brush her off and tell her, you know, Mom, I'm going to the NBA. I don't know what you're talking about. So I think once I got the nickels and I realized the movements as far as in releases and route running and stuff was natural, I knew, like, okay, if I continue to work hard and apply myself and use the resources around me, that I really got a chance at this.
And so, Tyren, I don't know, you may know this, may not, you're the first John Carroll player to ever go to the Senior Bowl. What does that mean to you as this journey continues?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot to me. You know, I'm a blue streak for life. You know, I just want to come out here, represent my school, and just, you know, I guess show scouts, show players, like, you know, there's talent everywhere. I mean, even at John Carroll. So it's been an honor. You know, I love my school. I love my coaches there that gave me a chance, and it's just been a blessing.
So now that we are on Senior Bowl week, we've had a couple practices now. You're about halfway through the week. Yeah. What were the expectations coming in, and how have they lived up to it, or been different than what you thought so far?
Expectations for myself, or
just kind of for the week in general, just all the rigors of the interviews and the practices, that sort of thing.
I just wanted to show I belong. So, I mean, it was the same feeling I had when I first got the nickels. Like, granted, I've only been playing football 2.5 years, but, like, I've been putting a lot of work in the dark. And, you know, like, the Senior Bowl is the biggest bowl out of all of them, and I just wanted to come here and show them, like, just because I'm a D3 player doesn't mean, you know, doesn't mean anything, really. So I just wanted to come here and just do my thing and show the work that I've been putting in the dark.
Last couple questions for Tyren Montgomery of John Carroll today. So, Tyren, if you were self-assessing your game, what is the strength of your game, and what is something you're looking forward to working on?
Yeah, so I'm a perfectionist, so I feel like, you know, all aspects of my game can be worked on. You know, I ain't been playing that long, so I have a lot of room for improvement. A few favorites of my game that I like is, like, release. I love releases. I love being pressed because, like, it takes me back to the basketball days of being on the basketball court. It's just implying a crossover and stuff into my into one-on-one coverage. And then when it comes to, like, route running, it's like stopping on the dime for a pull-up jump shot or anything like that. And then my favorite, and I feel like it's been a lot of people's favorite, has been my jumping ability. You know, I could jump out the gym. So I really like that I've been able to showcase that and show the raw athleticism that I have.
And then finally, Tyren, you mentioned the dreams in high school of being drafted in the NBA. Mm-hmm. What would that mean to you if in late April you hear your name called to the National Football League?
A mother is always right. You know, I just want to give a big shout out to my mom. My mom actually just passed away last year. So, you know, I just feel like it'd be a dream come true. I feel like for her, because she saw this dream for myself before I even saw it for me. And I feel like I'm living out her dream now. So it'd be a blessing.
He is Tyren Montgomery of John Carroll. Tyren, we certainly appreciate the time. All the best not only this week but throughout the draft process.
Thank you so much. Thank y'all for having me.